EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present opening round coverage of the Open Championship. Frank, when you come to the old course at St. Andrews for the Open Championship, you can just about hear the legends whispering to you. So many of the greats have made their mark right here.
It's the oldest, it's the best, and it's the one course that everybody, no matter where they're born, wants to play. Every great player has played St. Andrews, and that will be well in advance after our time, Rich. It's just something special. When you see it and play it, you'll see the reason why. I'm loving that balance.
Well, that's just how you envision it when you walk to the first tee. High and deep, right in the middle of the fairway. Good way to start. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is gone.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Pretty good shot right there.
Really. This is an awkward length.
This can be a cruel game at times. That's a poor putt to start.
Wicked, to say the least.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. Now to the second hole here at the Open Championship, and Frank, what's the best way to attack?
Ideally, if you're not the longest hitter, just down the right side. But if you've got some wind conditions, wind behind your back, you can nearly drive this green. Well, when he goes after it like he is here.
Come on, you can't hit a ball that hard.
That is crushing it beyond all crushing.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there. Safely on deck.
That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That's a sign of a good player right there. You make bogey, disappointed right out of the gates, but you come right back and make birdie. At the third hole now, Frank, it looks relatively easy, but you know there's some danger lurking somewhere out there on the old course.
There is. There's the pot bunkers down the right side. This is a tee where really you want to have an idea where that wind is coming from. If it's into your face, you might want to be a little cautious and go towards the middle of the golf course. But if it's behind you, well, then it's worth challenging that right side.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Frank starting to make the move.
Leaderboard very volatile at the moment, so a lot of move in that middle piece of the leaderboard. Top 20 so far.
For those of you just tuning in, we're checking in now on our featured golfer here at the fourth. Early in the round and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away.
Yeah, and actually a good position to really springboard the round from here.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Down, little Sheba, down! Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
This would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Almost. Wow. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking him for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
Solid par to remain 1 under. Chance here at the par 5 fifth, Frank, to make a little move early in the round.
Yeah, it's certainly eagles galore. The fifth hole is one of the biggest greens on the golf course, shared with the 13th. So good tee shot, and you have a nice big target, even though it's a blind second shot coming up.
Excellent, perfect position.
Ball's just sitting up, too. You could hit anything from there.
Setting up in the fairway, 200 yards to where that hole is cut. Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. So a tester from 4 feet. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Now to the 374-yard par 4/6, another scoring opportunity.
Just be very careful of the wind conditions here, because that'll affect the strategy off the tee, but bunkers left and right to be avoided. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
On the green in regulation. Getting set now over the putt. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. Over the ball here at the 7th, and Frank, if you had to script a game plan here, what would it look like?
You could drive this pretty close to the green. This is a green that's shared with the 11th, the par 3. And so you won't see that tee shot finish, but you can actually drive very, very close to a bunker called the shell, which is the one that protects the par 3 11th. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This is a good-looking shot. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. These putts keep the round together. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Par 3 8th hole here at the Open Championship. And Frank, why is it so difficult to get the ball close here?
Well, there's the bunker on the left side. There's a little bit of a downslope there. This is the first par 3 that you'll play. And it's just tough to judge that distance perception. You've really got to be accurate on your yardage here.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. So a good lag putt there, Frank.
Yeah, the whole idea of a lag putt, sometimes you build a 3 or a 4 foot circle. Just try and get it inside that. Good putt.
Holding steady now at 2 under par. Frank, the old course all about avoiding the pot bunkers. They're so nasty. This is a good example here, the 9th hole.
Yeah, the pot bunkers really to be avoided are the ones in the middle of the fairway, but there are some that sneak in on the left side, plus that gorse on the left. If you can carry that last one, which is called the end hole, then there's a chance to perhaps drive this green.
Beautiful looking shot right here.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Just busted that. 325 yards in the fairway. One thing about the old course at St. Andrews, it is not just the golf course, which makes the experience so memorable. It's the setting. It's the small town. It's people hanging out of the windows and watching. It's all the history. You just bathed in it when you walk into that grand old town of St. Andrews. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants to do over there.
That is a solid par putt. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. And it makes the green in regulation. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. This would give him the par. Nice par to remain at 2 under. Frank, another famous hole, this time the par 311.
Yeah, this hole was made famous by the left bunker, which is called the Hill, where Bobby Jones, when he first played St. Andrews, couldn't get the ball out of the bunker, so in the end he actually ripped up his scorecard. A lot's changed since then, but the hole hasn't lost its luster.
That will be a great look at birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Wow, I thought he made that. Wow, I didn't expect that. Good effort and a good par putt. Now at the 12th, and Frank, when you put the peg in the ground here, are you licking your chops?
Well, you are, unless you're playing into a head breeze, because if you are playing a head breeze, then you've got to worry about the 4 bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway. Touch of help, or if you're a long hitter, then all you've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker just short of this green. There is gorse left and right.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. That was not a very good read right there. Frank, he'll have to take a full swing at this putt for birdie.
This is long, but every now and again, one of these finds the bottom of the cup and makes that magic sound.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
2 under on the day. Here at the par 4 13th hole at the old course, Frank, what's the best play, power, or do you go with precision?
Well, you'd like a nice mixture of both there, Rich. If you can take those coffins out of play, that's the name for those series of bunkers sort of down the middle, then obviously you've got a much shorter shot coming in, and then you've got a chance to actually have a full view of the screen.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Strong winds have been a factor all day here, Frank. What's the key to scoring low in conditions like this?
Well, sometimes you've almost got to make the ball go to ground. You just got to keep it out of those high breezes, play away from the trouble.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Now putt for par.
Good effort and good par putt. Frank, what's the strategy here at the 14th?
If you can't go for this par 5 and 2, Rich, there is another option where you can go left. And I mean left of left. That's down the 4th fairway. That's across the Elysian Fields, as they call it, which is a set of sort of... he is winding this one up. Does he have the power, though?
Gave that the full treatment. Get up. Frank, I know you like boxing. That was some heavyweight power right there.
Smoked it.
Good tee shot, right in the fairway, and plenty long. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Quite dialed in all the way on that shot, but still on the putting surface. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Back here at the 15th, and Frank, this fairway narrows up in a hurry.
And it's also, there's a big crop of heather that sort of constrains you if you're going to hit it just straight down the middle. Only the brave go down the right side. It brings in those little bunkers called robs, and they'll rob your scorecard, that's for sure. Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Yeah, about 145 yards left here. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Up to the 15th green, but looking at a tough putt, considerably long, over 25 feet away. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Nice par to remain 3 under. Headed for home now, partner. The 16th hole. And what are we looking at here?
Well, you have to avoid the principal's nose. Otherwise, you're going to finish up in the principal's office.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor.
It's no snack, though.
Frank, we see it every single round. These kind of putts determine whether it's a good score or an average score.
Yeah, and just like that, a bogey. And does not feel like he deserves it.
Now at -2 for the day. Frank, this is sort of bizarre. You're standing on the tee at the road hole, one of the most famous par fours in the sport, and you're aiming for a hotel?
Well, you're aiming over a series of letters that say the Old Course Hotel. If you can hit it exactly over that U, then you will be in the right place, which hopefully is down the middle of the fairway. You avoid that heather on the left. That bunker up ahead, the road hole bunker, you remember David Duval? He got stuck in there. Years ago, Tommy Nakajima, he could hardly ever get that ball out, and in the end succumbed, I think, to double figures. So the hole has more than one way to trap you, so stay away from the road on the road hole.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Settles in over the putt. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Holding steady now at 2 under par. Frank, here at the 18th, so much history has been made through the years.
Yeah, one of my favourite memories, I remember Jack Nicklaus when he beat Doug Sanders in that playoff. The famous sort of short putt that Doug Sanders missed. But really, the great moment that stands out was Seve making that 15-footer across the hill in 1984 wearing the blue sweater. Not only did he win the Open Championship, but he beat a tremendous field that included Bernard Langer, Tom Watson, Fred Couples, Lanny Wadkins, Faldo, and Greg Norman. It was an amazing Open Championship.
And I love that fist pump. It was pure Seve. All that fire, all that passion came flying out. And that's where you just sort of fell in love with the game. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Not an easy one, 20 feet away. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. He needs this for par. That's a round of 70 on the day. Frank, it really was vintage St. Andrews today in so many ways. Just a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, the old course has so many great memories. Obviously, when it crowns the 2015 Open champion, it will add another great name to its already impressive roster. But for anybody to play this great golf course, it's a chance to be linked with the past and the future of the game.
Couldn't have said it better myself, pal. And with that, for my colleague Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports saying so long from the home of golf, St. Andrews. EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports at the Open Championship, and we are at the home of golf, the old course at St. Andrews. And Frank, you know the old course is old when the new course here in St. Andrews is a century old.
But the old course is just a treat to play, or even play an Open Championship on that. The holes have changed in the way in which they're played over the years. For example, some of the short par fours are very drivable by today's great players, but the pot bunkers, how penal they are should you stray offline, they have to be avoided. And of course there's all the little landmarks, whether it be the Old Course Hotel or even the famous Swilken Bridge as you traverse the 18th hole. There's something at St. Andrews for everybody. It's fine.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
In the water, too bad. After hitting it in the drink, this is the fourth shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday.
You want to know the difference between good scores and average scores? That.
Right there. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. In this case of anything that could go wrong, not just probably, it did.
I mean, that is one of the hardest drives I have ever seen. Just let it rip. And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Second shot, good look at the green. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That will be a great look at birdie. Coming off a bogey here yesterday, chance to make it right. Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Frank, talk about the strategy off the tee here at the third.
You can drive the ball pretty close to this green, Rich. It's shorter than the second hole. Just hit it down the right side, but try and avoid those little pot bunkers.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Played that one on the commercial side, as they say in the professional game, inside 30 feet.
Yeah, 27 feet to be precise, but to make it from there, that's asking for a bit.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Frank, the challenge begins to intensify here at the fourth.
Yeah, a bit risky if you try and hit it down the right side. Just about every player I've seen over the years has sort of aired a little bit to the left. That's a safer tee shot, but it does set up a very daunting second.
That's in the fairway. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Good looking shot right here. How'd you like that strike?
That was top of the tree.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. And with that birdie, moving into the top 20 on the leaderboard. Par fives, this is where players look to make the move in a major championship. How does this fifth hole par five measure up, Frank?
Well, if you can avoid the bunkers, they're actually left and right, but especially that little group of three bunkers, then it sets up well. It'll be a blind second shot, but you try and guide your second shot between the two bunkers on the hill in front of you, which are called the spectacles.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, you've been there. How important is it to hit fairways early in the round?
It just takes the pressure off the rest of the game, Rich. I mean, not only are you reducing the length of the hole by getting the ball in play and, you know, a good distance off the tee, but you're simplifying the next shot.
Safely aboard. A good 20-footer here. Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round.
Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Now at the 6th, not a particularly long hole, Frank, par 4.
Yeah, semi-blind tee shot. You've got an idea where you want to hit, but there's a series of 3 bunkers, they're called the coffins, down the left side, as well as some pop bunkers down the right. So this requires a very accurate tee shot.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This is a good-looking shot. Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Trying to make yet another birdie. Moves into the top 10 with that birdie. Over the ball here at the 7th, and Frank, if you had to script a game plan here, what would it look like?
You could drive this pretty close to the green. This is a green that's shared with the 11th, the par 3, and so you won't see that tee shot finish, but you can actually drive very, very close to a bunker called the shell, which is the one that protects the par 3 11th.
Good contact, good result. Well, not since Fred Funk have we seen someone this accurate off the tee. Just a sensational display. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie.
What a birdie. Now just a handful of players in contention.
Frank, now at the par 3 8th, and how challenging is this hole?
Well, it's called short on the scorecard, but massive green. The problem here is trying to hit it close. A lot of little subtle breaks and undulations in this green, and often you see long, long birdie putts here.
That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Good job right there. Now making a move and setting himself up for, who knows, a good weekend run, maybe at another title. The former college standout has been excellent today. Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in. That's a good par there, Rich.
Starting the second 9 here at the Open Championship, Frank, with a par 4 10th.
Well, this is another chance really to drive a par 4, especially if you're a game, but you've got to hit those that tee shot a little left of those two bunkers that are just short and right of this green. But course down the left, you've still got to be careful. Don't just flail away. But this hole, what a great name. It's called Bobby Jones.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Oh, good birdie right there, Frank.
Oh, time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
Frank, what are we looking at here at the famed par 3 11th at the Old Course?
Well, the most difficult, there is only 2 par 3s here at the Old Course, and this one's called high, elevated green, and you've got to fly that bunker that protects the front of the green. That's called the Strath bunker. Really take anything on this green. You make a 2 here, you'll make a move on the field. It's like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh my goodness, he missed it. He missed the bunny. That's like missing a layup in basketball. Locked in on the read and the speed. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, how do you like the 12th hole here at St. Andrews?
Well, it's a beautiful par 4. You start to see the village of St. Andrews in the background, Eden Estuary to the right, and also decision time. If you're long enough, it's certainly worth having a crack at this par 4 with your tee shot. But if you're not a long hitter, then you've really got to worry about those 4 beautifully, and he's going for a little extra.
I mean, that is one of the hardest drives I have ever seen. Just let it rip. Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Setting up for an approach shot here. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit given the conditions, but once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze, but down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Sitting down just a little bit in that second cut and 160 yards left. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Frank, you can feel the momentum shifting.
You can. It might look tight at the top at the moment, but you definitely get the impression we're going to see a change in the lead very soon.
Beautiful birdie right there. Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway.
Second shot.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. In for par. Time to tee it up here at the 15th as we begin the closing stretch here at the Open Championship of the Old Course at St. Andrews.
There's a big steeple in the distance, so even when it starts to fog in a bit, if you can keep your eye on that, that's a good line off the tee. And you've got to keep it, your tee shot just short of this sort of heather, big crop of heather down the left side. It still leaves you a lengthy second shot, but really that's the safest way to try and play this par 4 15th. Very good par 4.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. This would be a bonus from 25 feet away. On the way. Frank, this is a player in full flight right now.
It looks too easy right now.
All right, Frank, another par 4. It's the 16th. Players trying to make their way to the house, standing up in one piece. What's the best way to get at this hole?
Well, the normal player would actually try and hit the ball down the left. I've seen the odd player try and hit it down that out of bounds line and sort of flash it down the right side, but really there's not much of an advantage, Rich, unless you're the longest hitter in the business. So a little short and a little left of the principal's nose is a nice setup for the second shot here at 16. Long and straight.
That's how you do it.
Rich, right now, this does not look like the same player we saw earlier on in the day.
I don't recognize him. He was hitting it all over the ballpark in the first few holes. I didn't think there was any chance that he'd be where he is right now. Credit to him. This took guts.
Yeah, his composure is so different right now.
Well, that's the beauty of this game. You stay with it. It's 18 holes. You keep fighting, and you can put a score on the card. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Just a pure strike. Perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. Shouldn't be a problem here. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Settles in over the putt. Good effort and good par putt. Frank, so many famous landmarks on this hole. The hotel on the right, you want to avoid that. The bunker on the left, and then the stone wall beyond the road.
Yeah, there's all those features is one of the reasons why no one would be allowed to design a hole like this today. It also makes it not only unique, but I think that's the greatness of the hole, is that all those problems you're very aware of. It's just, can you avoid them?
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours. Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone. That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Third shot, looking for a good one. And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. Frank, a par here, that's just fine. Frank, you stand on the tee here at 18, and history is staring you right in the face.
Yeah, you have the Rusak's Hotel on the right, the Dunvegan over the back, the R&A building. Just standing there, you're reminded of how far this great game has come, and all these hundreds of years, I guess, in the future, and where will the game be then? Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight.
It's at sneaky distance.
Wow, I thought he made that. So a tough way to close the round, missing a short putt and a bogey here at 18, and getting ready for the putt. So after all that, it's a bogey. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present third round coverage of the Open Championship. Welcome to the Open Championship, the oldest major in golf. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews combined with the Open Championship, it's bathed in history.
The golf course is magnificent. It just reeks of all the great players that have played the game. Pick your hero, whether it's a Bobby Jones, a Nicklaus, a Rory McIlroy, a Tiger Woods. All the greats have been there and played this marvelous course. It stood the test of time. And even the routing, the old 9 holes out, turn around and 9 holes in. It's marvelous.
Frank, that golf ball's sitting up like a red velvet cake in a bakery. It looks pretty, doesn't it?
Time to take a bite of it. Savor it. Hit the next one close.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. 10-foot putt left. pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Trying to get the round off to a good start. Frank, we're at the second hole, and what's ahead?
Well, the ideal tee shot just a little over that gorse bush in front of you, which is down the right side. That's the best angle in, but it also brings in a little bit of trouble. But if that pin is anywhere towards the middle of this double green, then really you want to be coming in from the right side.
Wait, this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Locked in on the read and the speed. Not a real hard game, is it? Birdie birdie to open. On the tee box here at the third now. Frank, all these holes look relatively straightforward. Can a golfer get lured in a kind of a false sense of security off the tee here at the old course?
No, well, you can. This hole, the third hole, even shorter than the second, so reachable. But a lot of people tend to bail out towards the left. That's the middle of the golf course. And that leaves you a devilish little pitch or short wedge across that big gaping bunker that protects both the third and the 15th green. So once again, want to drive the ball down the right side, but there's a series of pot bunkers there.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Birdie try up next. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Kind of a tricky read.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
Frank, a much more difficult hole here at the fourth at the old course.
Yeah, that new championship tee is really made for a very hard par four. Two ways to play it. Down the right, that's a very, very narrow strip of fairway. Most will go to the left side, a little more conservative, but either way, tough second shot. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards.
Second shot.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Par 5s, this is where players look to make the move in a major championship. How does this fifth hole par 5 measure up, Frank?
Well, if you can avoid the bunkers, they're actually left and right, but especially that little group of 3 bunkers, then it sets up well. It'll be a blind second shot, but you try and guide your second shot between the 2 bunkers on the hill in front of you, which are called the spectacles.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, so crucial, isn't it, to just choose the right bat, club selection?
Yeah, when you're playing well and you're swinging well, you're going to hit more good shots than normal. But to top that off, if you can choose more good clubs than you normally would, then you will play better. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That's a bit offline in the rough. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That's all he wanted to do there.
Yeah, it's touch. And when you think from that distance, chances of making are almost none. So to guarantee a 2-putt, well done.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Now at the 6th, not a particularly long hole, Frank, par 4.
Yeah, semi-blind tee shot. You've got an idea where you want to hit, but there's a series of 3 bunkers. They're called the coffins down the left side, as well as some pop bunkers down the right. So this requires a very accurate tee shot. What a great shot. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Just a couple of feet. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Back here at the Open Championship on the 7th hole here at the Old Course.
Yeah, blind tee shot. This is one hole that really does advantage the long hitter. They can get it very close to this green, but this green has got some amazing undulations in it.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Birdie try again here today. And that's a birdie. Frank, now at the par 3 8th, and how challenging is this hole?
Well, it's called short on the scorecard, but massive green. The problem here is trying to hit it close. A lot of little subtle breaks and undulations in this green, and often you see long, long birdie putts here.
Birdie try up next.
It's at sneaky distance.
Hit it. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Frank, the Old Course all about avoiding the pot bunkers. They're so nasty. This is a good example here, the 9th hole.
Yeah, the pot bunkers really to be avoided are the ones in the middle of the fairway, but there are some that sneak in on the left side, plus that gorse on the left. If you can carry that last one, which is called the end hole, then there's a chance to perhaps drive this green.
drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
This one has good line.
What a sensational putt that was, Frank.
Unbelievable. Pace, line, everything to perfection.
Always so important to finish your first 9 holes on a positive note here at the Open Championship.
Yeah, the 9th hole, this is the most extreme part, furthest away from the clubhouse, in the middle of the loop here. A good drive, though, that avoids those bunkers has every chance of finding this par 4 with your tee shot.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good.
Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That will be a great look at birdie. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, number 11, the Eden, is really one of the more fascinating holes in all of golf.
Yeah, the 2 bunkers that the players normally worry about, Strath bunker in the front and the Hill bunker to the left. What makes those 2 bunkers so difficult is the steepness of the faces in them.
So off the tee here at the par 3, not his best stuff, but still a chance to make the 3.
Yeah, that was a poor miss off the tee. See if he can redeem himself.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
This to surrender, only one shot.
Rich, I don't think that bogey's going to make any difference.
Frank, how do you like the 12th hole here at St. Andrews?
Well, it's a beautiful par 4. You start to see the village of St. Andrews in the background, Eden Estuary to the right, and also decision time. If you're long enough, it's certainly worth having a crack at this par 4 with your tee shot. But if you're not, when he goes after it like he is here,
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
you wonder what he's thinking on that.
That's well played. Places it about 10 feet out for birdie. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. A good effort, a good par putt. Now to the par 4 13th, and again, Frank, it's all about avoiding the bunkers.
Yeah, another hole that forces you to go either right or left of something that you can see. The two bunkers called the coffins right up ahead. You can also go beyond those, and if you do, then you've got a much shorter shot in, but you've got to avoid those fairway bunkers. They are very costly.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. And setting up here in the rough. Good swing, good shot yet again. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance. Frank, the 14th is a big par 5, chance to make a big move, but also possibility of making a big number if you're not careful.
Yeah, you've got to be very aware of the out of bounds on the right side, even though it does move to the right. Ideal tee shot is down the right side that gets very close to that, because then that opens up the second shot and keeps that tee shot away from that crop of bunkers called the birdies. There's a big cross bunker up ahead that has to be avoided for the second shot. If you're long enough, you can reach this par 5 and 2, but this green with so many undulations that it is anything other than flat.
Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, one of the things I always loved about links golf is that you're not aiming at a flagstick or a tree, but sometimes you're aiming for a steeple in the distance, and this is a good example here at the 15th.
Yeah, the church steeple is the exact line off the tee. That gives you sort of the center of the fairway. Really, you don't have to be overly bold off the tee. This is about just finding a nice flat lie for that second shot, because this is another difficult green that's well protected by just one little bunker that's in the front left that you don't think comes into play. But if your second shot doesn't land the right distance, more often than not, it just gets swallowed up by that. And there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. And he has it for birdie. 16th hole is a par 4 here at the old course, Frank, with another one of those sort of funky features.
Yes, a series of 3 bunkers called the Principal's Nose, plus that out of bounds on the right. So really err on the side of caution, avoiding both the out of bounds and the Principal's Nose. Nothing wrong with going a little bit left here, but the further left you go, then it makes that second shot that much harder because you'll have to bring it across that little pot bunker in the front called the Wig.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday, and he'd do it again today.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Frank, this may well be the most famous hole in the world. It's the road hole here at the old course, number 17.
Yeah, without doubt, Rich. The vistas have changed over the years. There used to be a series of railway sheds down the right, and you had to hit it over across those. Now you hit it off across the corner of the hotel. So blind tee shot, further right you go, the shorter and the better angle you have in. And you need a good angle in because you mentioned it, road hole, it's got the road hole bunker that sits perfectly in that left front of this par 4 green.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. Behind this putt for a birdie. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Did the job right there. Frank, you stand on the tee here at 18, and history is staring you right in the face.
Yeah, you have the Rusak's Hotel on the right, the Dumbagan over the back, the R&A building. Just standing there, you're reminded of how far this great game has come, and all these hundreds of years, I guess, in the future, and where will the game be then?
Frank, this looks tough. He's on the macadam, but for a high-level professional?
Well, he's taken the wrong path, Rich.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Drops for a par.
Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present final round coverage of the 144th Open Championship. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews, and you know the old course is old when the new course is 100 years old. You know you're in a place that is bathed in history.
Yeah, the fact that they can't really figure out who exactly designed the old course, it just evolved. And the true, if you look at a scorecard, the fact that you go out and in, it's designed purely around St. Andrews because 9 holes are out, then you turn around in the loop and come all the way back to the clubhouse. So the amazing thing is you actually can, if you get lucky, play 9 holes with the wind behind you, and if fortunately with the tide it turns, you can get 9 holes with the wind at your back as well.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Frank, on the second shot here at this first hole, a player will get a good sense of the winds here and how they can play a role at the old course.
And they'll also get a good sense of exactly how punishing this golf course can be, and with such the smallest things. For example, that burn is only about 3 or 4 yards across, and yet it is punishing to say the least.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Settles in over the putt.
Great start.
Here we are now at the second. Always so important to try and establish a good round in these opening holes, Frank.
In the second hole, especially with a prevailing breeze and today's modern equipment, the odd player has actually driven this green, but you really see the tone of the golf course. The middle of the golf course is protected. There's a series of bunkers down there, but left is always the safe side of the golf course. Because the best line to play your second shot from on the whole golf course is always the right side, and we see that here at the second.
315. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Should be safely on deck.
Had a birdie here yesterday, in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Oh yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Frank, talk about the strategy off the tee here at the third.
You can drive the ball pretty close to this green, Rich. It's shorter than the second hole. Just hit it down the right side, but try and avoid those little pot bunkers.
Good straight shot right in the fairway here at the third. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Trying to make yet another birdie. Nice solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong.
Good contact, good result.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Frank, there's a real art to putting a good score on the board, isn't there?
Yeah, that's why stroke play is so tough, Rich. You're trying to minimize everything on a golf course, turn a 6 into a 5 or a 4 into a 3. It's like even off the edge of a green, trying to get up and down in 2 rather than 3. And you've got to do it for 18 straight holes. If it's a 72-hole tournament, then you've got to do it for 4 straight days. And that's why that's always been the best predictor of our best players, the ones that can go 4 days and make the least number of mistakes.
Not too bad, about 25 feet away. Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And getting ready for the putt. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par.
Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. This fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
Well, you could, especially if you've got a little bit of breeze behind you, but it's quite wide in the driving area with the exception of those 3 bunkers on the right that just sort of pop out. But if you can get it past those, this par 5, very reachable.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker.
Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Frank, that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and get any more out of that. Smart shot.
Good scoring opportunity. 3rd shot here at the par 5. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Birdie try again here today. Right in the heart. Now at the 6th, not a particularly long hole, Frank, par 4.
Yeah, semi-blind tee shot. You've got an idea where you want to hit, but there's a series of 3 bunkers. They're called the coffins down the left side, as well as some pop bunkers down the right. So this requires a very accurate tee shot.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. And so the approach shot finishes up some 25 feet from the hole.
Yeah, not his best, but certainly not his worst.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. This can be a cruel game at times. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
Just a little tap in here. They'll take it. That's a par. Now, 7th hole here at the old course, Frank.
Ideal line, just hit your tee shot over the march stone. The bunker on the 11th green actually often comes into play, called the shell bunker. So anything a little bit right of that, but very difficult green for the approach shot coming up. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good. Oh, that had some meat behind it.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Standing on the tee at the par 3 8th here at the old course. And Frank, what are we looking at here?
One of the biggest greens on the golf course. It looks flat, it looks like it's easy, but once that flag gets on the left side, this is when the hole becomes a little bit more difficult. It's very easy to take this hole for granted. Very hard to hit it close, though.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Good putt. Always so important to finish your first 9 holes on a positive note here at the Open Championship.
Yeah, the 9th hole, this is the most extreme part, furthest away from the clubhouse, in the middle of the loop here. A good drive, though, that avoids those bunkers has every chance of finding this par 4 with your tee shot.
On the green with about 10 feet left to the hole. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Oh, painful lip out. This is a good putt.
Absolutely can't believe it. I thought that thing was stone dead in the center.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
I have this at about 125 yards. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Safely aboard. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, a par here, that's just fine. Frank, what are we looking at here at the famed par 3 11th at the old course?
Well, the most difficult, there is only 2 par 3s here at the old course, and this one's called high, elevated green, and you've got to fly that bunker that protects the front of the green. That's called the Strath bunker. It will really take anything on this green. You make a 2 here, you'll make a move on the field.
Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. Hole number 11, the Eden, is really the finest medium-length one-shotter in all of golf, isn't it, Frank?
Well, this hole's been copied by many an architect for the reasons why it's normally very, very difficult to make a hole of this length, or should I say this short, so difficult. But they've managed to do that here at Eden with that Strath bunker in the front and the severe sloping on either side of that bunker.
Well, that can really be brutal, can it?
It certainly does. And if you have any doubt there, you'll come unstuck at 11.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Birdie try up next. Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Moving on now to the par 4 13th. Frank, what's the strategy here?
Once again, to avoid those pot bunkers. The first one is called Nicks, and then the other 2 up ahead, once again, they're called the Coffins. somehow you've got to go right or left of those or beyond those. If you can go in the exact right position, which is slightly left center, you will actually have a full view of this green. The left or right of that, then it's a blind second shot.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That was a solid strike and a good result. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. And he has it for birdie. Frank, what's the strategy here at the 14th?
If you can't go for this par 5 and 2, Rich, there is another option where you can go left. And I mean left of left. That's down the 4th fairway. That's across the Elysian Fields, as they call it, which is a set of sort of hummocks that run down the middle. And you can find a flat lie there and come across at about a 45-degree angle for your third shot to 14.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. These putts keep the round together. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Frank, the 15th here at the Old Course, just a classic example of links golf where you might be aiming for something that isn't even on the golf course.
Exactly. There's a nice line there. In between the two humps that you can see in front of you off the tee, if you keep looking down, you'll see the church steeple. That's the perfect line for the tee shot. Got to be careful with the second shot coming up. You see the 16th tee and out of bounds to the right of this green and that little pot bunker that protects the front.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
That one was running so hot. And he's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this.
It's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Settles in over the putt. Good solid par right there. 16th hole is a par 4 here at the old course, Frank, with another one of those sort of funky features.
Yes, a series of 3 bunkers called the Principal's Nose, plus that out of bounds on the right. So really err on the side of caution, avoiding both the out of bounds and the Principal's Nose. Nothing wrong with going a little bit left here, but the further left you go, then it makes that second shot that much harder because you'll have to bring it across that little pot bunker in the front called the Wig. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Good scoring opportunity right here from 125 yards or so.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That is a beauty, a real beauty. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, this is sort of bizarre. You're standing on the tee at the road hole, one of the most famous par 4s in the sport, and you're aiming for a hotel?
Well, you're aiming over a series of letters that say the Old Course Hotel. If you can hit it exactly over that U, then you will be in the right place, which hopefully is down the middle of the fairway. You avoid that heather on the left. That bunker up ahead, the road hole bunker. Remember David Duval? He got stuck in there. Years ago, Tommy Nakajima, he could hardly ever get that ball out, and in the end succumbed, I think, to double figures. So the hole has more than one way to trap you, so stay away from the road on the road hole.
Pretty good shot right there. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Almost. Wow. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, this is really one of the coolest spots in the whole sport. When you tee off at 18, it's as if the entire town of St. Andrews is peering in and looking at you.
Yeah, you've started by the town at the little starter's box, and then you've sort of gone all the way out. Now you're all the way on the back end, and it's almost like your job's been completed. But really, in the game of golf, you're just starting.
He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. Second shot, good look at the green.
Safely on deck.
So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie to win the Open Championship.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par.
Rich, it came down to just a shot or two here or there, but we were treated some amazing golf this week.
Just one player standing, and that was earned, well-deserved, beautifully played.